Hello, mali yung orientation ng cam nyo. Nakatayo siya sa ano. Paki-disable yung auto lock ng portrait.
Seminar. So this time, our first speaker is someone with more than decades of experience in technology, digital innovation, and business transformation. He has helped organizations embrace digital solutions and has been instrumental in driving innovation in the industry. So he is currently serves as a director of information technology at Blackstone Philippines, where he leads initiatives that strengthen digital presence and explore next generation technologies and modern solutions. So before we welcome our first speaker, let me ask again a quick question. Can I ask how many of you are using AI? And napakadaming nagtaas ng kamay. So maybe for our assignment or work research, we actually use it all the time. So pwede ba natin ulit makita gano'n na karami ang gumagamit ng AI dito? Wow, napakarami nyo naman pala. At isa na rin ako doon sa gumagamit ng AI. So our first speaker is a results-oriented technology executive with more than 2 decades of experience in driving innovation and delivering impactful digital solutions that supports business growth and transformation. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in giving a warm welcome to our first guest speaker, Mr. Mark Rivera.
No, it's not. Very cool. Good. Uh, it's fine, can you hear me? How about it? Okay. All right. So, good morning, and for today we have about 10 to 15 minutes. And we're going to cover a lot of topic. And right now, we're going to talk about AI powered discovery for the GEO. And I- first of all, so my name is Mark, and I'm also from GUP, and I graduated way back in 2003, and as the BS Information Technology. Dito sa campus, sa main, I think I visited this several times, but I graduated in the campus. So back then, this PSIT was in infancy stage, or probably I'm the third or second. I'm the second. We are the second batch of students who graduated BSI. Okay, so fast forward. After I graduated in BSIT, I started to work as a programmer. And 2 decades after, I'm working on a company, it's a French company that creates a lot of gifting, rewards, and other solutions. So, as a chief information officer, what I do is I create solutions based on ordinary or everyday problem. But your solution is only as good if it can reach people. That's why we're going to talk about today how search or GEO will be able to help. Okay. But before that, one of the things that I want to share is branding. Branding is very important, sobrang importante nito. And we all have to start by branding with ourselves. So here's the QR code. Let's connect on LinkedIn. And then later on, I'll give you the book on why we should be doing this and what's the importance of this from 4, 5, 6 months from now or years from now. So pull up your phone, scan the QR, and we're going to pass through this. Okay, so first off, the evolution of search. what happened? 5, 6 years ago, every time you do a Google search, you see a blue links, di ba? And then you have to click on it and hoping na makuha sa agad. That's the traditional search. And to be able to rank on Google, most of most of the brands, ang gusto nila is either you rank first, second, or na-feature on the first page. If you're on the second page of Google, you're done. Wala nang makakakita sa brand mo. So, that's why SEO was brought decade ago, 10, 12 years ago. And what it does, optimize your search. Okay? Pero ngayon, different. Now we have AEO or answer engine optimization. Follow through by GEO. What's the difference? Yung AEO, this is an answer engine optimization. If you do a Google search right now, you see an AI overview, right? But that's actually AEO. That's the frictionless because you don't need to click a blue link anymore. Ang problema dito, if you're that brand, bumaba yung click rate mo. Because nobody's clicking on that link right now because you already have an answer to the search that you're looking for. So that's AEO. That's a different strategy. Paano lalabas yung brand mo sa AI search, okay? Now powered by the GEO, another type of search result. Kasi now if you search in GPT, in ChatGPT, you search in Gemini or Claude or Perplexity, hindi mo na rin kailangan i-click yung link because the the answers that you need. So that's another thing about the products right now. So how do you make sure that your brand is still showing up in the AEO or the answers or in the GPT results? That's one of the biggest things that we need to learn today. Okay? So again, on the evolution side, yung SEO, search engine optimizations, um, you get to be found. Kailangan makita ka. And basically, I want to step back a little on this one. The foundation of AI is actually SEO. You still need to work on your SEO big time kasi if you don't have the right data or the tags, hindi ka rin makapag. Alright? AEO, what it does in purpose na talaga is be the direct answer. So this is the new way of search. Hindi mo na kailangan i-click yung blue link or whatever. The answer is already on top of the AI overview. And then yung GEO, purpose ito is to be a top generated response in the GPT. So again, all of these three have different types of stages and different types of how you try to make sure that you get to the top most search. But again, I want to emphasize that SEO again, yung basis or this. Okay, so okay, so why is it transforming? Why are we having these new searches? For SEO, there's a huge or rapid changes in technology. 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 10 years na lang, we don't really use AI a lot, right? And most of it, lahat ng researches natin are coming from links from Google. But now, most advanced websites are really different. Medyo slim yung kanilang code base, so it's very hard to go. Second one is evolving human inputs. So the way that people are using the internet right now are very, very different. Before it's just a traditional search, gusto kong pumunta sa isang lugar and I want to eat something. Now, the search result would be, ano yung mga lugar na yun, and ano yung mga pagkain sa lugar na yun. Then I have to provide myself, ano gagawin ko if I have all of this information. But right now, what human needs is that if they ask for that, the result will be here's the top three, top five places that you can go, and the top five foods that you can try. Okay? And that's alluding to the third and last reason is the frictionless research journey. So again, before you have to click 5 websites, go onto that website and start getting information. you go to the blog reviews and you get information as well, right? To be able to know ano yung masarap na pagkain sa lugar mo. But right now, medyo mainipin yung mga tao, so they go with the frictionless user. Or we, as a branch, go with the frictionless user experience. Okay, before I move to the next slide, because we're going to try this, how effective the SEO, AEO, and the SEO is, I want to emphasize first, yung SEO, traditional SEO, yes, you have to really do all of the taggings. But ngayon, what you need to happen is the mention, MENTION. Your brands should be mentioned on a different website. And yung other website na yun should have a very good ranking as well. Because that's how the RAG or rank retrieval augmented, that's how AI works right now. They try to go in and see kung marami bang patterns yung brand mo and are you being talked about sa ibang websites. So again, SEO, you think about your website. Go a little bit further, make your website or your brand be known on the other side or the other website. Popular example ito are bloggers, but that's why the brands are affiliated bloggers. It can be talked about, so they can talk about their brands as well. Okay, so let's do a quick example of how branding works. And the QR code that I showed you earlier, um, is one of the use cases that I want to share. And we have two use cases. One is for the personal branding. Second one is for the actual retail brand. So if you can pull up your phone right now and do a quick search on Google, so we will see the SEO, AEO, GEO kind of thing. So just do a quick search about who is the CIO of Bloxy Philippines. Okay, it's real quick. Okay, so what you would see there is a quick answer on top, right? But then again, the reason lumabas yung result on top is because of years of branding. Okay, it would not come up over there if I did not brand myself or hindi ako nagpuhunan to brand myself. So how did I do that? I usually, yeah. So what happens is I usually go to events, IT events, and after the IT events, they have to write something about the event. So my name will show up, my company will show up, and then sa LinkedIn, I post regularly this. So my name will show up, my company will show up, my idea will show up. Pag pinadbigin siya ng AI or the REG, then meron siyang idea about who I am, where I work for, and that's why yung search results sa taas, my name will come up, right? So that's one of the examples. It's not just because actually sa loob ng PH, you will not see my name because the organizational structure of my company does not wala sa loob ng website namin. But because other websites have my name, other websites have the events that I've been to and what I did and what I talked about. So natutunan siya ng AI. It's part of the learnings that's happening on the LLM or the large language model that's being used. Okay? So one of the things I also came from PUP 2003 back then wala kaming computer. We have, but 10 people will share one computer. So, as I go through the journey, isa lang yung natutunan ko, you have to brand yourself to be able to be employable. Okay? Next, do another search. Try to search for absolute must-try stops or anything on the photo. Okay? I'm not sure if you can see this, but absolute must-try stops or Binondo Food. Typical search. Anyone who comes in Manila, na hindi taga Manila, kung hindi lang mag-food roll sa Binondo, they have to search for this one, right? Okay, I'll give you another 5 seconds to see what would be the result. Okay, so now what happens is in the AI overview again, makikita mo doon that the AI is suggesting you something to go to, right? And lalabas dyan ang unbeaten, weighing, sincerity restaurant. Lumabas pa. It showed up. It did or not. It should. um, Kasi yung NP tong tatlong to is highly being discussed in several other websites. And one of the criteria ng AI crawlers are freshness. So kung yung mga food bloggers are always writing about these three brands or three restaurants, they're always showing up on top. Kasi napag-aralan mo siya ni AI again and was pushed again to the memory. So I don't think NBT, Waiting, and Sincerity Restaurant keeps their website updated, even if they have or they don't have a website. Pero kasi pinag-uusapan sila madalas, even in videos, right? And in YouTube. So that's one of the things that's happening is how you go up on the AI search result. Pinag-uusapan. That's the mention that I was talking about earlier. Okay, so building a generative engine or GEO requires optimizing your brand. So AI search tool like the GPT can recommend you locally. There are several ways to do this, but I think pinaka-important. Okay, so there's five that we can do. Number one is optimize local data and schema. Uh, Basically, to put it on a layman's term, dapat yung business or yung brand have an identity online. So that would be your name, address, phone. So sa Google Business Directory, you have to claim it. You have to put a pin kung nasa yung business mo. Even if it is online, you have to do this para nag-prod ulit yung AI, they would know that you're an existing business. Then they're going to tie up to other discussions that are happening. Kung tama yung data, then mataas yung ranking search mo. Claim feed and local listing. Any websites that says website directory sila, you have to claim your spot on that one as well. Again, you have to make sure that your brand is recognized. Build real world authority, ito yung mga reviews. So gather reviews, so Google reviews, that if your website have a reviews, make sure that you attract people to provide reviews kasi AI actually wants a humanized information. So medyo baliktad siya when AI prompts you with an answer, nilagay mo sa paper mo, pinasa mo sa prompt will come back and say 90% is AI. So pangit. But AI, when they crawl, they want to see a humanized version of it. Right definition or local content. Direct answer. If you have something of a content, tapos paikot-ikot yung description mo or hindi maganda yung pagkakalatag, AI won't be able to learn. Make it simple for AI to learn you or your website or your brand. If you say that's or use in your website, yung pinakamadali and answer it very direct. Let's say that's your tool or your application. Then it connect to SAP, right? The quickest answer is yes, we have a adapter that can connect to SAP. Very basic like that. And lastly is audit your visibility. This is where you try to see and test if you're being shown in the AI. So there's a few other ways to do it rather than doing it manually. All right. So medyo maliit, but basically, if you want to go SEO, AEO, and GEO, there's different AI tech stacks that you need to build. You can create GEO, AEO with one AI tech stack. Let's say that's it. Okay, you have to have full tech stack. In a corporate world, what they use is Profound AI. That's the top one, Utterly AI, and See Visible AI to know if they're reaching people. But medyo mahal to. It would cost you $1,000 to $5,000 in a year. Sorry, in a month. But then there's some other options like for Profound, instead of Profound, use Perplexity. Instead of Utterly, use the Gemini, but I still promote the Gemini Pro for a very minimal fee. You get the Pro version. Or you use the GPT or the Chat GPT. And see visible at a medyo a little bit of a technical side, but you could use the JSON SD to be able to see if your codes are audit. Lastly, to close this one out, so why GEO matters, the brand is today. Again, number one, zero click revolution. People doesn't want to go through each of the links that we have or each of those blue links. They want a direct answer. A study right now shows that marami pa rin na nagsa-search sa Google than those that are searching in the GPT. Kasi in the GPT, mostly your prompts there are create an email, create an essay, create something that you want to take. Searching in the GPT, mababa pa din. Google pa rin yung may highest. But message is, you have to start your AEO, GEO right now para mag-remain mainstream. Yung AI search using the GPT, then you're there already. Citation. Again, shifting from clicks to citations is art of trust. Kasi if I still click on a blue link, hindi ko pa rin alam kung tama yung sinasabi ng website na. Because mas maraming garbage sa internet than the full details, right? But in AI, kinuha na niyo yung integrity and authority ng information for you. Okay? And that leads to the architecture of trust. Again, what I want to say is SEO, AEO, and GEO, they complement each other, but you have to be strong in making numbers. Elimination of data gap. Every time you search, still human. But the AEO gives you the full view, and the GEO helps you to really deliver the full view to your customers. Okay, I'm going back to the QR code. This would be my last slide. If you want to brand yourself and make yourself available every time you go in your search for an opportunity, you have to start branding yourself right now. So again, the association natin kanina is you have to be known, you have to be talked about, or you have to be available in other forums. Okay, and one of the way that we can start today is if you click on this link, after this session, I will post a very nice write-up about this event, what you can do para mag-show up yung pangalan nyo in LinkedIn. Okay, number one, you have to have a LinkedIn. You have to create your brand first because sooner or later you'll be going to a corporate, right? But then again, to start populating this feed, comment on one of the posts that I will do today and write something that your takeaways on this session. And that will start rolling immediately. So this is 2026 right now, July. And this will still be rolled 12, 18, 24 months from now. So we're going to do that, and I hope you guys could put in your takeaways or your comments, and if you have any questions, you could message me on LinkedIn, and I will definitely let you guys. I would answer or put my feedback. And lastly, thank you for inviting me back to my alma mater. I've been, yeah, the last time I was here was about maybe 18 years ago. And that's the last time that I heard the Sintang Parallel and Team. And listening it today really brings a lot of memories. So good luck to everyone.
Wow, partner! Ang dami natin ngayong araw na ito. Diba? Nakinig ba ang lahat? Hindi ba na kayo? Okay. Sige nga, kung kasi kayo, what is AEO? Okay. AEO stands for Answer Engine Optimization. And GSAO, Search Engine Optimization, according to Sir Mark, it is the foundation of AI. So, alam naman natin na ang AI nowadays is napakabilis talaga na pag-evolve o talagang na-adapt na ng ating daily lives. Tama ba? Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. So thank you so much again, Mr. Rivera, for this insightful and inspiring presentation. So one of the takeaway from your talk is branding. Branding is not just about creating a recognizable name on our logo. It's about building trust and meaningful relationships. As you mentioned, one of the most important things is to always be available for your customers because being accessible creates confidence and strengthens your brands. So once again, thank you for sharing your expertise with us. We will now open the floor for questions. If you have any question about branding, AI, or any today's topics, please raise your hand and our facilitators will gladly assist you with the microphone. So we will be accommodating up to three questions. Ready na ba kayong magtanong, guys?
Yes.
Okay. Tatawag kami ng magtatanong. Okay, si Sir. Anong name niyo, Sir?
It's a wrong po.
Sorry?
It's a wrong. Aether.
Acer. Sir Acer. Good morning.
So my question for students who want to work in digital marketing or SE, what skills do you think will be the most valuable in the AI era that universities don't usually teach?
Okay. Thanks. Yeah, thank you for the question. Okay. Skills, that's the question, right?
Yes.
Okay. Number one, more than tech, you have to humanize how SEO is happening. You have to learn. Well, but is your question more of how you go to the digital marketing or how you do this? Sorry.
About digital marketing.
Okay. So ngayon, maybe if the question was thrown 5 or 6 years ago, digital marketing looks like whichever in the curriculum po pwede. But ngayon, my advice is you have to know the AI tech stack. That's the number one. If you just cannot have one AI, let's say ChatGPT, then you didn't gagamitin mo, or you just cannot matututo, you try to search for everything that you want to consume, hindi siya ubra. So you have to have your own. And when I say own, kasi it works for you only. Because let's say naka-build ka na apat na tech stack. Start with the Gemini for research, then you go to Perplexity, you go to Claude, then you go to you Perplex for the images, right? And then makakabuo ka ng buong text stack. It would cost you, maybe a little. But then, if yung isang tao, iba yung discussing. So he has to look for another way or another tech stack. Ako personally, in my work right now, tech stack ko, puro Gemini. Right? So I have the Gemini Pro, pinaka-base ko. Sorry, Notebook LLM, ang pinaka-base ko. I put all of the research documents over there para hindi siya nagkakabusin. Right? And then I go to the gems. For gems, yun yung actor. And from that actor, pupunta kay Google Suite para ma-create yung presentation, ma-create yung images, ma-create yung Word document or whatever I want. But what's important to answer a very quick question is you have to have a marketing AI tech stack. I will share it to them, some guys on the tech stacks and how to build it para merong guidelines.
Thank you po.
Thank you, Mr. Rivera, for the color. So we will now entertain our second question. We will now proceed to our second and final question.
No? Okay. Ang tanong ko po is, sa dami mo ng businesses ngayon, marami ng AI or na ChatGPT para gumawa ng mga content, ano po yung mistakes or biggest mistake mo na napapansin mo? At paano naman po may iwasan maging generic po yung mga content na gumagamit po natin?
So content creation using AI. And, what are the pwedeng magkamali or
Yes, po. Yung mga mistake po, since wala naman businesses, gumagamit po ng AI.
Okay. So for content creation, number one, if magpo-prompt ka sa GPT, either ChatGPT or Gemini, alam natin na nagkakagusin ang AI. Right? So whenever you create, babasahin ko ba din? You have to validate. Okay. So if corporate yung atake, my suggestion is use something like a notebook LM pa din. Because sa notebook LM, ang baba ng hallucination rate mo. Because what happens in notebook LM, ikagather mo muna info. So I use Gemini muna. I ask, ano yung okay, number one is prompt engineering. You have to be good in prompt engineering. So I have to ask, ano yung mga researches about this brand na pwede mong basahin. So kukuha ka ng 5 or 10 and notebook will take about 50 references. Then load it to the notebook LM. And then, yun lang ang gagamitin reference ng LLM. So, hallucination is sobrang baba. So that's, you can do market research, you can do content creation, on that part. And then, kaya natin siya sa trend. Kaya naman is you would instruct this person to be, ikaw ang pinakamagaling na content creator. That's your profile. So, hindi ulit siya magka-hallucinate kasi pinigyan mo siya natin. And then again, text stack pa din siya yung text stack. And then another text stack is copy paste into an AI checker. See if it's human. Pero ang dami yung technique. Like slash human before you do a prompt. It makes the client AI more human. Because anything AI at ma-generate, ipasa mo siya sa prompt mo. And generate ng prompt mo, minimum 91%. Okay, so how do you avoid that? I'm not saying don't use AI, but how do you avoid that? Instruct mo si AI to be human. Then instruct mo siya sa prompt mo, ano yung mga categories na kailangan. And then how you take the related AI. That is your baseline before anything.
Thank you once again, Mr. Mark Rivera. So thank you also to everyone who participated in today's seminar. Mr. Mark Rivera, on behalf of the organizing committee and all the participants, we sincerely thank you for sharing your valuable knowledge, experience, and insights on technology, innovation, and digital transformation. Once again, let us give Mr. Mark Rivera another warm round of applause. For our first guest, may we invite Professor James Patrick Gala to assist in the award ceremony.
So, Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Open University System, Opportunity Universe, Certificate of Engagement, the certificate is awarded to Mr. Mark Rivera, with recognition and sincere appreciation for serving as a guest speaker during the seminar entitled The Future of Search, Mastering Geo in the Age of AI-Powered Discovery, held on July 4, 2026 at Taro M. Recto Hall, UP Manila. Signed, Stala, for specialists.
The certificate of appreciation is more represented from Mr. Mark Rivera and grateful recognition of his valuable contribution as a guest speaker for today's seminar. The Future of Search, Mastering GEO, the Age of AI-Powered Discovery. Thank you, Mr. Rivera, sharing your expertise and inspiring us to embrace innovation and digital transformation in today's rapidly evolving world. Before we proceed to our next session, let us stop and give exciting activities to test your AI knowledge. Are you ready, everyone? Alright, everyone. Mukhang na-exercise na natin ng ating mind sa mga insightful discussions ni Mr. Rivera. So, but this time, kung gaano na kayo ka-observant. We're about to have fun and exciting game to test your AI knowledge. So this is your chance to participate and have fun. And of course, manalo ng mga prizes. So here's how it works. We will touch the questions on your series. Your challenge is to determine whether each one was created by humans or answered or by AI. So if you think you know the answer, just raise your hand. The first participant to answer correctly will take home the prize. Are you ready? Yeah. Guys, are you ready? Okay, that's the first question. So human or AI? Artificial intelligence has transformed the way people communicate and access information worldwide. Raise your hand, please.
AI.
Okay, that is correct. Next question. Human or AI? The gentle rain tapped against my window as I finished reading my favorite childhood book. Sorry?
Human.
Correct. So, thank you everyone for participating. We hope you enjoyed the game and learned more about how challenging it can be to distinguish between human creativity and AI generated content. So to give everyone a short break before our next session, we have prepared a special performance for you. Everyone, please welcome Ms. Grisha Albino for a special presentation. Let's give her a big round of applause. Thank you so much, Miss Rich. For your one and the last person. So I'm sure everyone feels energized and ready for what's next. So once again, let's give Krishna a round of applause. We now proceed to the second part of our seminar as we welcome another distinguished industry leader and one of the country's leading experts in digital marketing and search optimization. He is the honorary secretary, Dr. SEO Brands and the industry, where he shares valuable insights and strategies on organic growth and search marketing. He is also co-founder of Polaris Outlook, a proclaimed expert agency that helps large brands and startups in their online business. With over a decade of experience, trusted voice in the global SEO community. His work has been featured in entrepreneur magazines, Inc., Rockler, BBC, Tech Asia, Florida State University, and the University of British Columbia, among many others. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in giving a warm welcome to our second guest speaker, Miss Celestine.
Hello. Better.
Yes. Yes.
Hello, good morning. Thank you for inviting me. I think this is my maybe fourth time doing a lecture in UP. Actually, the coolest one, no bias, was back in 2012, I think. I was invited by I think it's marketing, a group of marketing students. Because they had their event sa Subin. Kasi it was a free event. So, sobrang naalala ko lang. Okay, so I just tell you this one. Can I get a quick show of hands who are the marketing students here? Ayos lang. Last check. Pag-graduate ba gusto nyo nasa digital marketing na trabaho?
Yes.
Well, you're in good hands. Perfectly since nasa marketing na kayo, the future of search, since yun yung title ng event, the future of search is actually really good marketing. So, just a quick intro, I'm Jason Rasida. I've been doing SEO for the past 16 years, I think. And right now, I'm mostly a consultant. So, I do a lot of consulting work for local fintech brands. I think from what I remember, I cited a couple of case studies here. I think you'll be familiar with them. And I also work with several highly valued startups and Fortune 500, 500 companies in the States. This is our agency, so I'm also the co-founder and CEO, but I think parang figure head time lang naman yun talaga. But what I actually do for the company is mostly strategy and research development. So I come up with all the strategies, research, and then my team at our agency implements all those findings. And we've been operating since 2011. These are some of our clients. I think okay for na. Kasi, ano ba? There's actually a funny story for this event since I created this deck, I think last week of May. The funny thing is there were two sections who invited me to do a presentation here. And etong presentation na to, nagawa ko and submitted it to the first one. The event was, I think, second week of June. Tapos, mali pala. So, pinaulit na yung event sa akin. Gumawa ko ng specifically for local lang. So, right now, medyo kanina ako nasa review kasi hindi ko maalala kung ano ba yung mga nilagay ko dito. So, quick heads up lang. And I think masyadong maliit yung mga text. So I'll try to read some of them, the ones that I know that are very important. Kasi feeling ko hindi siya masyadong kita sa likod. Okay, so, with that caveat, let's get started with the main body of the presentation. So I'll start with how the population is changed in terms of SEO. Maganda yung presentation kanina. It's a really good primer to what the differences are in terms of SEO, AEO, GEO. But just to give you a quick review of how it is different right now. So before, sa traditional SEO, for bigger brands, it's easier for them to dominate the search results because of, either they have bigger budgets or they're really known authority in their field. And when I was starting, medyo madali madali replicate. Like, you can even take it. So, yung time na sa old world if you're not really a big brand, because you're one of the smaller guys, the strategy or the approach is to hire a big SEO team. Kasi that SEO team will help you reach the more competitive spaces nasa top of the top na talaga. Pero what changed right now is AI search doesn't just rank pages, it recommends answers na. So from being from targeting or aiming to be listed within the top 3 or top 5 ng organic blue links before, now the goal is for AI to really know, to genuinely know who your brand is. Kaya yung na-mention kanina by Sir Mark about branding, it really is the core of how you can thrive this new era of search. And right now, this is what I think talaga when it comes to competing with other brands or other SPOs. Medyo occupied the space. Pero ang pinaganda sa AI search, it's not really about outspending the competitor na. It's more about who has the more clearer positioning. Kaya ang very important talaga yung marketing ngayon. Kasi yung mga high impact initiatives, mostly dependent on positioning, messaging, distribution. And I think pinag-aaralan ngayon sa marketing. So I think this was briefly mentioned by the lead speaker that to change na nga yung how we use search. Before, naalala ko mga 2010 or let's say mid-2010s, pag search ka, pag English, doesn't matter kung kompleto. Parang oftentimes you don't search na you don't use highly specific words. Like right now, parang mas confident na tayo sa highly descriptive na prompts to actually get the answers that we need. Before, kunyari, naghahanap ka ng restaurants, yung sa search mo lang, restaurant near me, parang ganun. Tapos pagpapakita na siya based on your location, especially if you're on your mobile. But right now, yun yan, mas specific na yung mga tanong natin kay Google, Gemini, kay Claude, kay ChatGPT, like, what's the best thing in Pampanga or in Clark with ganitong price range? Magpahaba na ng mahaba. There's even a study na there are more queries and prompts the first time na-record ng mga systems na to than the ones that are actually being frequently searched or that used to look for answers. Kaya lang, kasi maliit to eh. So, feeling ko and there's a running joke within the industry for more than 2 decades, or sige, 2 decades, na every year there's a popular content creator or journalist who will claim that SEO is dead. Every year yan, like meron ka lang, whether it's New York Times, lagi na sinasabi patay na industry na to. And the quick answer is actually relevant pa rin siya and hindi pa siya patay. Kasi most AI platforms, particularly AI over Gemini and yung AI mode ni Google, are heavily dependent on traditional algorithms. Algorithms that was built for traditional search. And even yung live web search features ng ChatGPT, Claude, they all rely on search engines. And this was also mentioned earlier, yung nabanggit ka na ni Sir Mark, which means that different augmented generation factors for these systems to actually retrieve information very fast from search index or search indices, which is primarily Google, secondary, Bing, and the other technique na medyo dependent nga sa ano, sa mga concepts and algorithms that was originally built for search and information retrieval is the query account. Basically, a system for them to better prepare their systems to give answers immediately. So yung ginagawa niya is, may question ka about restaurants, the system behind the AI will start looking out for other relevant subtopics. So parang in-anticipate na yung mga follow-up questions lang. So those are the two major AI techniques that very visible or very predominant sa traditional search and to this era of search. Ako personally, ayaw masyadong i-complica yung mga terminologies when it comes to our work. So ako, I believe na SEO and SEO is all the same. It's all really SEO. Evolve lang talaga si SEO. So how AI search works? I'll just cover this briefly kasi ang na-explain na sa kanina in a way. But basically, the difference from traditional search is traditional search gives you a clean list of links, and search may answer them, and sometimes may bias the recommendations. Like, you're looking for a specific solution. Oftentimes yung ibibigay na answer ng AI is merong notes or comments based on your current situation or the specific situation that it might be. Tapos, I think mga key inputs na ginagamit ng mga AI models, particularly is Gemini and ChatGPT. So, for me, yung dalawang pinaka-importante dyan is the first one, clarity, and yung authority signals. I will expound on this later on since I know na na-cover ko siya extensively sa last parts ng documentation ko. But basically, clarity is more on how clearly AI systems and search engines understand yung brand nyo or yung entity nyo. Kumbaga, hindi lang sa brand. Like, let's say, your name. Kumbaga, as a person, as a professional, how does this systems understand you? And doon papasok yung branding and marketing. Kasi the more you are consistent about your messaging for your, let's say, your personal brand or your brand, parang mas madali siyang mas madali pang cultivate yung mga systems na to understand that this is how you describe yourself and how others might perceive you. And the next one's authority signals, doon napasok yung na-mention na kanina, mentions, brand mentions, how other websites, how other publishers, how other creators mention you, how do they describe you. Kasi yung mga yung aside from the brand mention, importante rin yung sentiment eh. Like, if you're a douchebag, you're an asshole, tapos yun yung primary laging attach the description about your brand. Like, let's say, kunyari, ang pangit, sobra ng products yun, ng services yun, maraming bad reviews. Naintindihan ng mga systems yun, naintindihan na yan, na I would rather recommend someone or something else that has merong obvious na positive impact to its consumers or to its intended users. So very important yung and what we do that yung authority signals is consistent na branding efforts. And and yun yan. Matagal na namin from my intro, hindi ko na banggit, I used to bluff a lot back in 2010 up to 2018. Yun yung active years ko in publishing content. And through that, through the, parang hobby lang din ako kasi sa akin. So, through that hobby, medyo doon ako mas na deep active mag-research about the actual technical stuff ng SEO before. And I think that's one of the reasons why I was frequently invited to have speaking engagements, and some of my works were featured ng mga universities abroad, saka mga bigger publications in our industry in the US. Pero just a quick overview. When I was actively writing, I wrote about a lot of technical concepts for information that device or SEO. A lot of those like post-citation, your TFI techniques, permanency, inverse document frequency, user intent classification, where the internet is actually based on for taxonomy categorization, very important na internet concept. Pero, just to sum it up, lahat kasi daw, lahat ng concept na nila, yung intention niya, particularly for search engines, is to mimic how the real world actually sees entities. Like, for instance, top of mind, soda, Coke, di ba? Sa Pilipinas, the same one, SN. So, yun parang isa sa mga gusto maintindihan ni Google, how yung parang natural language processing, parang how it actually differs from the real world and from these engines. And now, I think we're pretty much here. I mean, 10 years ago, we were talking about this as the future of search. The future of search, maintindihan ni Google yan. Maintindihan lang, actually, wala pang ChatGPT na. But now, the future is here. And evidently, that are parang behind the scenes na gumagana. So, I can't remember why it put this in here, pero I think related to next slide. Tama ba? Related ba siya? Tayo natin. Pili ko maisip mo kung anong connection din. Small business opportunity. So, okay, hala lang kung bakit siya dyan. Kasi yung original na invitation sa akin was specifically to create presentation on how small businesses can compete in the AI search. So, right now, the best na mention, importante yung branding. There's an inherent advantage talaga for smaller brands. Kasi yung mga big brands,
medyo mahirap pag-pivot sa kanila because they're super invested na on different segments, different market segments. And minsan yung mga AI platforms, it's one of their struggles. It's hard to pinpoint one main definition for a big brand kasi they try to absorb too much from a big market. The advantage of small brands is easier for them to be more specific and be more, ano ba, to dominate a smaller niche. And yung specificity na yun, that's one of the clearest signals that AI platforms can use to actually separate you from your competitors. Parang ganun. So before the traditional SEO, the goal is to rank for keywords like mga clients before, gusto nila, I want to rank for this keyword, like let's say loan. I want to rank for personal loan, best savings accounts. Pero now, medyo nag-transition na. Kasi yung AI search nga, medyo minimimik na yung how the traditional marketing actually works. Like yung mga print ads, TV, dyaryo, lahat yung nabibig ng brand mind share, di ba? And that's how AI actually parang sees itself when it comes to as a marketing channel na trying to mimic how the real world sees entities. And so the question right now is, what do we want to be known for? Hindi nakalagay sa in case hindi nakita sa likod. A good sample here is Uniqlo. Sila yung napili ko kasi parang madaling isipan na parang pag nakita ko sila, yung mga ganda essentialist, minimalist, and they actually back on those elements na medyo na-dominate nila yung parang fast fashion industry. So, ito ba yung mga kilala na kalaban nila? Zara, H&M. Pero Uniqlo has its own place talaga in that market, in that market. And three things that stood out when it comes to their approach to branding themselves is yun nga, very product-led yung nila, yung approach nila. Like, alam mo kagad na sa kanila galing kapag kayo na heat tech, ABC, yung mga sub-products nila that really solidifies their vision, and brand. Parang ganun. And actually, may original akong mas parang ginagamit na reference for case studies, which is Amazon. Pero nung nabasa ko yung case study about Uniqlo, na before they tried expanding sa US, that was really an aggressive, that was an aggressive expansion from what I've read. Pero they failed the first time they tried. And the next step na ginawa nila is they started smaller, parang they build their brand, so they define their following page. Originally, they're from Japan, na-penetrate din nila yung mga smaller markets until such time na US market and European markets ay naghahanap ng Uniqlo na products. That's the time na they can actually expand there. I'll get back to kasi yung train of thought na to related sa how do you build your brand sa AI search. The first reference that I always used was Amazon. Familiar with Amazon, para siyang Shopee, para siyang Lazada, pero sa US. And it started and then back in the 90s, they started as a purely e-commerce site for books, parang online bookstore siya. Pero when it started, the original plan talaga is to eventually dominate e-commerce by selling different product categories. Pero what they did was they tried to dominate one particular space muna, which is in books. And it made it easier for them to expand on other product categories na kasi they already have the brand record. So I think parang basic framework na, which is very different from the old way of doing SEO. Kasi the old way of doing SEO was the first step is to identify keywords. Yung lagi, parang pag nag-search ka sa internet how to do SEO, yun yung laging first step, keyword research. Identify the keywords that your target audience is using to find yung products or service na you're offering. Pero now, it's more on define your brand's answer. Ano ba yung solutions na napoprovide yung brand nyo? Or ano yung mga services nyo? And how it is different from the others. Tapos, once you define that, once you identify kung ano yung mga core concepts na for your brand, the next step is yun na. You build your content around those topics or the answers. Then, medyo madali lang next distribute. That's way na. I mean, the next few slides are related to each process. Okay. So, I shared a couple of case studies here. The first one is Tala. Anyone familiar with Tala? Okay, so they're a digital lending company. And, wait lang, basahin mo lang sa English. Mag-iwan na dito. Yeah, that. So, we've been working with them for, I think, the past 3 years. And nag-shift kami to AI search last year. So, the good thing about Tala is they are already well-branded na they actually medyo maganda yung pagka-drill down nila sa messaging nila and positioning. Like, the clear position for Tala is, yun nga, a legitimate loan app na, yun nga, kasi maraming loan apps na medyo sketchy and medyo, ano ba, medyo harassing yung collection practices. Pero yun yung parang talent na brand na a digital lending company that is actually honest and that is actually that actually serves its intended users that I trade. Kasi ano kayo results as a third slide. The second case study is for Tonic Bank. Familiar na Tonic Bank. It's a digital bank, so kalaban ni Maya, kalaban ni Chica. Although nag-campaign for them, we've been doing a SEO for them for maybe 4 years na or 5 years. Isa sa mga biggest learnings from working with them, sobrang galing na planting nila, is yung foresight. I mean, nung pandemic, I started working with them and then matapos pa lang yung pandemic. Nung pandemic kasi, a quick lesson on positioning. When I started working with them, marami na pang-utang. Kasi sobrang daming loan apps, daming marami na pang-utang. Pero, konti lang yung aware nung time na yun about credit scoring na hindi alam ng karamihan ng consumers that how yung performance ng mga loans mo could actually affect your future financial options. Like, kung good payer ka, mas madali ka pautangin na mas malaki, mas maliit na interest, parang ganun. So, nung ang dami sobrang umuutang, pero ang dami din parang yung data back in 2023 yata, parang 40% ng mga umuutang are delinquent payers. So right now, noong time na yun, yung naging positioning ni Tony was okay. So maraming nasisira yung credit kasi ang dami umutang, hindi nila alam na kailangan nilang bayaran na ganit. Parang gano'n. So they reframe their product as a credit building instrument na use it para mag-build or rebuild ng credit score. So, ngayon yung naging campaign namin, it's heavily focused on credit building education na. Like, may mga content kami about how to check your credit score, how to build your credit score, what are the financial instruments that can help you improve your credit, para gano'n. And, yeah, so, pagka nag-check ka sa mga, sa Google, Gemini, ChatGPT, anything about credit building sa Philippines, laging lumilitaw si Tony kasi we were able to establish them as an authority in that field through niya. consistent message, consistent na positioning in all of our messaging. And for both campaigns, talagang naging heavy kami sa atin. Differentiation. Parang, yun nga na. I think that's the, parang ano, pinaka-core essence of branding talaga. Yung differentiation. How are you different from the other competitors? I think this kind of mindset can also use and leverage in career building. Like, ano yung magaling advice ni Sir Michael? Yun nga, sa corporate world, you actually do that. And I think, na-figure out ko lang to, yung how to differentiate yourself, ano yung difference na yun? Like, uh, what sentence that things with our clients, we pretty much do the same thing every time we try to secure placements or features from other websites. Yung trabaho namin is more on ano talaga, more on making sure that they are well defined sa mga sa mga distributed content. Kasi that's, I think yung AI search and then search about what are the best loan apps in the Philippines. Laging nandyan